Welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. This is our best of. This has been fun. This has been really fun because behind the scenes, you might have a different version of best of than what we have, but tonight's our best of. And then another time we'll have your best of. But anyway, we're happy to be here. We're glad you all are here. And we're going to start with number one, our best of. Our best of is LCD, length, circumference, depth. There's so many who are new, so I'm just going to kind of go over it briefly. Just make sure you understand. But I was in a workshop in Seattle, and again, because there's new people, there's those base concepts that we started with that I feel like were most important, and I see that not everybody hears those or understands them or applies them. So I just want to take a few minutes and go over. We're going to do best of silhouette patterns. We're going to do the best-selling patterns, and I've made up a bunch of them. I've got some fun things to show you. And then we're going to finish with the best idea. And it came from you all, and I think it's terrific. Okay, so we're going to start with the best of, and it's about draping. And whenever we do LCD, length, circumference, and depth, the most important thing that we can understand when we're draping, when we're fitting, is length is not circumference, is not depth. And when each of those functions separately, you can make one change without making 15 more. And so many alteration methods that you all are aware of out there, they take one change and then you make, it's a domino effect. And that's just a bunch of wasted time. It honestly pains me to see you all not understand this. So that's why I want to spend a few minutes on it. If you have questions, please ask. Let's just get this done. It isn't hard. I've said before, the reason it's hard for you all is because you've learned something else before this. You think it's right, even though it doesn't work, or even though you spend a day changing a pattern, which is absurd. You know, I just want to help you. That's just it. So, length, base of the neck to bust point to waist, waist to hip. Lengths can only go up or down. They can't go a little bit here and a little more here, because if they're not straight, then that's a dart. That's an angle, and an angle is depth. Length, up and down, just like an elevator. If you wanted to go down the hall, you got to get off the elevator and walk. That's circumference, okay? So length, base of the neck to bust, bust to waist, waist to hip. Okay, so I've used a straight piece of fabric and I hung it evenly from the shoulders. And when we see that, what we see is that there's extra fabric in the middle, because even when it hangs straight from the shoulders, because the shoulders aren't even if they are, the fabric goes to the middle as it goes over the bulge. That bulge is called our bust. So if you notice, when I make a dart, it pulls the bottom back in. And so if I make a dart over here, which is where the angle changes on the body, voila, I get the garment to where it's pulling back in. This is depth. Notice that as long as the dart is around the bust point, the bulge, I get the effect. It doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be right on, it just has to be in that arena, in that area. There's rules, you all know that. But it just doesn't have to be as strict as what we all think it is. And you cannot get this fabric to come back into the body without that dart. You just can't do it. Okay, so that's depth. Circumference, we know circumference to be sizing. We know that we're one size at the bust and one size at the waist and one size at the hip. When we change sizes, what we want to do is we want to use darts to take in. And what happens when we use darts to take in, we look thinner. So horizontal darts don't affect circumference, they affect length. So when we want one length here and one length over here, we have a dart. And that's not length because it's not straight across. And when we want to take in the waist and change size from one thing to another, then we put in a dart, a vertical dart. And what we know about vertical darts is vertical darts change size. They change size from the bust to the waist to the hip. That's what they're for. So a dart is not a dart is not a dart. What we know about darts is that they can be horizontal and they affect length. They can be vertical and they affect circumference. Isn't this fun? You just got to play it and play it and play it until you hear it. And once you understand it, this is just simple. Okay, the goal in silhouette patterns, and I've made some for you and we've sold many, is to take this, tie something at your waist, make a template. A template could include the shoulder angle, a neckline. It could be the whole bodice. So that anytime you go to a new pattern, any new pattern, I don't care if it's silhouette patterns or I don't care who it is, you can lay down that template and figure out because once I have done this, I have me flat. And me flat is the best holiday gift you could have. Because once I have me flat, I can cut the cloth correctly every time. I've got the shoulder angle, I've got the armholes, I've got the bust, I've got everything. I've got everything. So the goal is to get me flat and then go from there and use that as a template. So even when I go to, you think about every garment there's only 5 pieces, and every garment has those 5 pieces. Just matter how they're put together, how they're cut up, how they're, all that other stuff. Are the darts sewn into the garment? Are you changing the actual pattern? Are the darts, well, a bust dart has to be sewn into a pattern, but the bust darts can become gathers, they can become princess seam, they can change styling, but it still has to have some type of dart, and that's what pattern making is taking those base pieces and changing up the styling to become many different things, okay? So I just want you to be aware that the best of silhouette patterns, in my opinion, is offering you the definition of length, circumference, and depth, offering you an understanding on how to change a pattern and how to change it without the length affecting the circumference, without the circumference affecting the depth. That is critical. And if you don't understand it, just spend some time watching some of our videos until you do understand it. But get rid of that other information. It's not valid. Anytime you go to change a pattern, if there's 4 other things that need changing, that should be a red flag to you that you're not using a method or whatever that's accurate for you. Can you show the drape using the French dart? Yeah, you just don't do it here. It doesn't matter where you take this angle. It just has to be taken out to where it finishes at the dart, at the bust. The bust is what's causing the problem. The bulge. You don't have to call it the bust. The bulge is what's causing the problem. It just so happens it's called the bust. Okay? All right, same thing. Okay. Do you sell a sloper pattern? You don't want to use a sloper pattern. I appreciate these questions. Because if you use a sloper, by definition a sloper is no ease. Then every time you make a garment, you have to put the ease back into it. So we make a sloper knit, we make a sloper blouse, we make a sloper jacket. It's got the ease built into it so that you can then change the styling without having to redo a bunch of work. So if you look at our base patterns, our starter kit of patterns, those are our slopers, but they just have ease built into them. I would strongly discourage you from trying to make patterns from a sloper, per se, because every time you do that, you have to add ease into it. And it's just a lot more time and a lot more work. You're redoing your work. The goal is to save you time and to, let's say once I have a t-shirt that I like, all I'm going to do is change the fit. I'm going to change the styling. That's it. So all of our knits, you guys know this. Is there an ETA for shipping the neckline templates? Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Our neckline templates. So like when I did these neckline templates, you guys, I crossed every T, I dotted every I, except there was a little O that slipped into the mix. Okay. And basically what I mean on that is I said to my guy who does this, you have enough material, yada, yada. I checked everything, right? Yep. Well, the problem is we sold so many that he didn't have enough material. I didn't say, do you have enough for X amount? I said, do you have enough material? And he said, yes. And he doesn't. He didn't. So we have shipped some. We're shipping more. We should have them all out by Friday, and we really appreciate your patience. I'm so excited about them. I'm so excited. They've been so much work and energy, but they are, you know, you guys are going to love them. You're just going to love them. And I'm going to show you a place where I used it tonight, and it's just fun. It's just fun. Oh, Peggy's arm. Oh, sorry. I know, you guys, I never know where to put this stupid microphone. How about if I just ditch how it looks, and if I just stick it here? Because I think that will stay in the middle of me, and I think that will work better. Okay? If there's a gap at the top of a center back seam on pants, should that be taken up by making larger back darts? Yes and no. You have back darts, you have side seams, you have front darts. Just because there's a gap in the back doesn't mean there's a problem in the back. It just means that's where the problem is manifesting itself. So you want to take advantage of all those darts. Darts, side seam is a dart. Darts change the circumference between the hip and the waist. So don't just go to the back, go to all of them. Utilize every tool you have when you're making a pair of pants, okay? Okay. Are we good with that? Our mannequin is going to soon disappear, if you watch. I need to make my patterns without darts after my bilateral mastectomy. They can happily go to the tummy area. What's the best method? Just cut and slide. Just cut, close, open the bottom. That's not a method. That is how you make patterns. You cut, pivot points, close, and open. Okay? But be aware that even though we take, you know, all of our bumps away, the base of the neck to the waist is still longer in the center than it is at the side, and that's why we use darts. So I would not be surprised if you needed a dart. You might just have a reduction in dart size. I have fit many women with mastectomies, and you still need darts. So just don't, you know, go smaller rather than none at all is what I would recommend. I have a large bust and often find that when I do a full bust adjustment, I get too much fabric in the middle. Is this where I add a bust or waist dart? So when you do a full bust adjustment, you are doing exactly what I'm saying not to do. You are changing two things without, you're not isolating L, C, and D. And I don't want to get into a whole thing on that. We've got so much information on that. But when you are doing that, you are not isolating L, C, and D. And so you're ending up with other problems that happen when you try to fix one. And so I can't, you know, nor do I want to go into all that. But like I said, there's plenty of information out there. If we didn't order the templates, can we still order them? You can. Watch for Friday. We'll probably put them up Friday or Sunday. We just got to get the ones shipped of the people first that did pre-order, and then we'll go from there. And I appreciate all your patience, you guys. I really do. Okay. So the next thing we want to talk about is the best of 7 patterns that are our best sellers. Some you may have, some you may not have. But we're going to talk about 7 of our best sellers. Okay. So we're going to start over here with, this is going to magically disappear. There we go. Thank you very much. Just because we have not enough space. So the first one is 921. It's called Milano's Jacket. It is a fabulous jacket. Number one, because it can be done, and I did 2 of these. Well, I shouldn't say I did 2 of them. I brought in 2 of them. The reason I brought in 2 of them is because this was done by one of our customers, really good customers who comes into the store on Saturday, and we just have too much fun on Saturday. I love Saturdays. I love seeing you all. I felt really bad. The store's open from 12 to 5 on Saturday, and like, I don't always get here at 12. Like, I know I'm supposed to, but like 12:05. And I guess somebody was here last week at 12 and they left before I got here. I felt really bad. I got here like at 12:05, but I can see if they got here at 12. Anyway. Okay, so Milano's Jacket. It is a great jacket. So many different fabrics. It works for, and it's just wonderful. Flap in the back. It's a great design. This one was made by one of our customers, I started to say, and we left it in the store because I think it's really inspiring for you all to see what others of you all are doing. And then I think it's inspiring to see what I'm doing too. I get that. But I think it's just really fun to see what others are doing, period. I draw a lot of, I'm copying numerous things tonight that you all did. So, but Milano's Jacket is 920, and I wanted you to see those versions. Okay, we're going to stick this here, and that's the pattern. Okay, the 125 is going to be our sew along. It is going to be our sew along for the Toys for Tots, which will be December, I don't remember off the top of my head, but we'll start to announce that so that you can, I believe it's the 10th, but I can't remember. Anyway, we'll announce that. And then I wanted to show you this belt. So belts are your best friend. And I know, I hear you all right now. I hear it. Is that you don't want to wear belts. You want to wear belts. You just don't think you want to wear belts. And I keep shoving belts down your throat because what I know about belts is how positive they are for your body. Many, many workshops. I've put a belt around a woman who says, oh no, my tummy's way too big. This is where I gain my weight. I get all of that. I get every bit of it. The problem is that it's like Dolly Parton in a muumuu. And if you don't wear a belt or darts or something to bring in, you look heavier. If you think you look heavier with a belt on, it's just because you are seeing what's there. The belt, when you tie it on and, you know, like wear a jacket over it like this, or when you tie it on and you blouse over it, it's just the best possible look, okay? All right, the jacket you have on, I need to shorten the shoulder. Narrow the shoulder maybe, I think is what you're asking. Where would I do that? The jacket I have on is a knit, so I wouldn't narrow the shoulder. It's almost too narrow as it is. This is 915. This is Hugo's cardigan. But if you have to, I would do it in the princess seam. I wouldn't do it or do it in the main body piece. But I would definitely do a muslin first, just FYI. And I don't have any snaps on. I think you're looking at this one maybe, this one here. These snaps, they're on the side under notions. Okay, so if we go back to the belt here for just a minute, I want to show you this belt because I fell in love with it and I wanted to share it with you. So this is a really easy one to make, and I think it's fun because it's really almost all fabric and you can make it out of fabrics to match an outfit, which I think would be really cool. So all you need is two funky little things, circles, triangles. If you go online and look at purse fixings, I don't think they're called fixings, but anyway, purse parts, you can find all kinds of cool things. And they're not expensive, and they're just really fun. The back piece is just a gathered piece of fabric. It's 2 to 1, so if this is 2 inches, you're going to do 4 inches, gather it on, fold it over, stitch, okay? That should be half the length of the belt. So half the belt that you want it to be will be in the back, and then this front piece, what it is, and this one in particular is a knit. So what you can see is then the rest of this is as long as you want it to be. You can tie it, you can put it in a bow, you can make it long, you can make it short. There's just so many options with it, but it's just cute. It's just cute. I mean, you could do 2 washers. You could paint the washers. There's just so many options that you could do with it. I think the most fun thing is to think about what you want to do with them or how you want to do them. But I want to tell you that 921, great pattern, and belt is the way to go. Okay? All right, so the next best pattern we have is 115. 115 is Anne's top. Let's see, let me pull it out here, right here, Anne's top. And what I did is I used our new templates. That neckline is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. This fabric that I used is 5888, and I used that neckline template. So the 3 necklines are going to be the crew neck, jewel neck, the scoop neck, and then the V-neck. And the jewel neck is the scoop neck is by far the hardest. But this fabric in particular is just so pretty. 5888. Anne's top, it gives you a completely different look with Anne's top now. And so I think that's one reason why I love the idea of these templates. All right, and then the next best thing we have can offer you, is capes. You guys know I'm nuts on capes, and I want you all to be too. This fabric on the capes is 58 nope, sorry, is $57.92. $57.92. This cape is absolutely stunning. I mean, you make any cape you want, it doesn't make any difference, but make a cape. Best of by far for 2022 fall is a cape. You want to do a long sleeve underneath so that these little sleeves come out the bottom of the cape. A short sleeve under a cape just is not really a good mix. So I know lots of you have 115, and I know lots of you have those templates. So I just love that neckline. It's so pretty on, it's so flattering, it's just really nice. Okay, how are we doing? Questions? Okay, we're okay. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, best of, is the bomber jacket. 927. I want to show a couple pictures of the bomber jacket. And so we're going to show picture number 2 is what we're going to show first. Sorry, I know I think I've got the sequence out of order a little bit. Picture number 2 is a bomber jacket. And then I also want to show you picture number 3. They're all over the place. You guys know they're everywhere. I know they've been coming for a while. We did this one a couple years ago. This it's 927. But it's amazing how just really popular they are. And I'll tell you what I did, because in looking at them and shopping and seeing them all over the place, like that one, the who is that? The smoother one? Oh, it's Theory. Isn't it Theory? The small, that one right there. Yeah, can you make that larger? Is that Theory? Huh? It's at Neiman Marcus, but what's the name right below that? Does it say Theory? Can't see it. Okay, I think it's Theory, because I think we had this fabric, and we bought a ton of their fabric. But anyway, this particular fabric, when I looked at those two, the bomber jackets, it's Theory, yeah. I had this jacket already, which was kind of like a looser, a little bigger. Put that back up for just 1 second. Just make it a little bit larger. I want you to look at the look on this. On the mannequin that's standing, if you notice, it's that dual-ended zipper. And I love that look because it almost looks like, instead of a zipper, it acts like a little button. You could just button it. You know, it's not really a button, but it looks like a button because by the time you go down on this one and up on this one, it just has such a nice look to it. So you can see that bomber jacket, pattern 927. You really can take it to be very dressy, very casual. It can go over a dress. It can just do all kinds of stuff. I was trying to put this up here so it would stay, but I guess it's not going to. But anyway, it's a great look. The fabric, I wanted to tell you what I'm using with this because it's $58.94. I used a sweatshirt fabric to make a bomber jacket because it's so soft. Like this fabric, $58.94. These are these sweatshirt fleeces that we have in. Man, they are so comfortable. They're so soft. They're so comfortable. So I decided it would be perfect for a bomber jacket. What I don't like about a sweatshirt is you got to throw it over your head, which is okay. But sometimes if I just want a little bit and I want it over my shoulders, I don't really want the high maintenance of putting it over my head. I want to just put it on and zip it up. So that's why I chose to use a sweatshirt fabric and then with the bomber jacket pattern. Okay? Okay, what's the cape pattern number? That was 98. What's the pattern number for the cape? 98, 98, 98, 98. Here, we'll put it up here so we get it. 98. Well, there we go. There we go. With the Lulu fabric you have, with an elastic at the waist or just fabric at the waistband. I just made this pair of pants and I didn't put any elastic at the waist. You don't need elastic. It depends on your shape. It depends on your fabric. It depends on how, it depends on the variables. But with the Lulu I have, to answer your question, you don't need elastic at the waist. You can do it without. Does 927 have a French dart? No, it's a princess seam. It's a princess seam from the neckline. Is your zipper in the bomber jacket on your website? Yeah, the two-ended zippers, yes. Yeah, we have them made, so they're lovely. And you could make this whole thing. I used the same black as what I've got on, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But you could make the whole thing because this is a knit. A bomber jacket is typically woven fabric, and they use a knit you know, for the cuffs at the bottom. But I could have used the purple because it's a knit. I could have used it everywhere. This is kind of an eggplanty color. I could have used it everywhere. Okay, so just a best-selling pattern. These are just our best sellers. This next one, did you use the sweatshirt fabric for the neckband on the bomber jacket? No, I used the fabric of the pattern I have on. I'll get to that in just a minute. Tell you which one it is. Okay, then what I did for this outfit is I used these two. These are our best-selling patterns, 195 and 3400. Y'all know that. 195 and 3400, these are our slopers. You could call them that. They're my knit sloper and my pants sloper. So every time I do a pair of pants that's knit, I'm going to start with 3400. Every time I do a t-shirt that's knit, I'm going to start with 195 as the base. I'm not going to start all over. I'm not going to take away the ease. I'm not going to do all that. It's too much work. I'm going to start with a base. It's got the angle of the shoulder. It's got the circumference of the knit. It's got the dart size. It's got all of those ingredients in there where I don't need to start over from scratch, if that's fair. Okay? Okay, so then I want to show you, so what I did is I am in love with this fabric. It is, sorry, $58.89. Oh my goodness gracious, you got to pull this up. I was so excited about this fabric. That's one of those you just like do this. It's just so exciting. This is 2 layers of fabric, and they are stitched together, and it's a navy and a gray. It's 100% cotton. It's out of this world. Okay, so I wanted to take advantage of it, but I wanted, one of the trends that's big, and it's been big all the way through spring, is monochromatic, all the way top to bottom. It's very flattering, you all, especially if you're shorter, but it's going to make you look taller. Monochromatic one, everything's one color, so I did that here. Okay, I did the yoga pants. I didn't use any of the gray. On the 195, all I did was flip this to the outside, this gray, and I did it on the hem of the sleeve too. So there's a little bit of gray, and it's just where I just used it as a trim, and I flipped it to the outside, and I stitched. Don't serge, just simply flip to the outside and cut off. And for me, on my 195, I actually cut a seam allowance off all the way around because I wanted that neckline to be a little bit more relaxed. So I took a 3/8 inch, cut it all the way off around on the 195. So that neckline's going to be a little bit wider and a little bit lower just than what the pattern is. Everything else is just like it. Okay, and then we have this really cool, would you make a silk bomber jacket? Absolutely. Absolutely. It'd be the best thing going. You could make a bomber jacket, honestly. I think one reason I like them, you could do any fabric. The corduroy, that corduroy, we've got a beautiful pink, kind of a thin well corduroy would be gorgeous. Can we see the back of the cream cape? Is this cream? It's kind of off-white. I didn't tell you this fabric, you guys. This fabric is amazing. The cape is I did tell you, $57.92. Sorry. Can you see the back? Yes. Yes. All right, and our super duper detailed cameraman is on set, ready to zoom in where you want. When I wear this, I actually like the zipper closed a little bit. So I actually close it down just a little bit. I want, you know, just like that. I just want to know that it's like functional rather than just the zipper in there. I love this cape. Love this cape. Okay. Cameraman, we good? Look at that, boy. Look at those shots. Okay, any other questions on those? Because we're going to go to this cape, and this cape is really cool. You're going to want to really pay attention. I'm so excited to share it with you. Are you ready? Any other questions before we go to the cape? Okay, let's show off this cape. And I think it's 1. I think it's numbered 1. Okay, so this is Acris. How much is this cape? $1,500. This is about 2 yards of fabric. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay? Okay, So, like, I love that cape. I would have never, I mean, it's hard to pick up some of this stuff out of photos, you guys. It really is. I went to the store, and I was there late one night, and the coolest thing is I could measure away because nobody was there. Nobody was there. So this is the cape. So I did it in the same color, and the reason I did it in the same color is because I thought it'd be really cool just to have that little gray popping out. So there's just a little bit of gray peeking out here. I didn't finish any of these edges. Oh, I love this cape. It's so cool. So last week, one of the customers that came in, she had a really pretty brooch on. And I just loved, I don't have a lot of brooches, but I decided it would sure look pretty just like right there, or something that just kind of attached right there. I mean, you can leave it blank. I'd put a necklace on, but it just as an option, I think it'd be really pretty to put a brooch on here. It'd dress it up, and you may not want to dress it up, but anyway, you've got monochromatic, you've got your yoga pant, you've got this, and then I put the wrap on top. Okay, so which one of your patterns is best to make a classic sweatshirt? Well, we have sweatshirt patterns, but if you wanted to make it, you'd start with 195. It's a knit. That's your, go to those starter pack of patterns, and there's only one knit, so it'd have to be 195. Okay? Can we see that cape on you? This cape? Tell me which cape you're talking about, and we'll see. With all these 7 patterns be sold together as a set? No. Well, I didn't finish the sentence, sorry. Will all these 7 patterns be sold together as a set? No. Simply because a lot of you have them already. I mean, you know, there's not very many that it would be of value to. We just had a pattern sale. But I think we've got some shipping specials coming up to where it's just like a pattern sale. So Friday, if you watch for that, you know, there'll be some specials coming up. And we told you should be on our email list. If you're not on our email list, get on our email list, because that's where we announce all those specials, you guys. Okay, so let's go back. I want to show you how to do this. Okay, are we good with that? Okay, so this is your fabric, and you're gonna pay attention, even though you don't get this right now. It's so easy, and you'll get it. So this is your fabric. Your fabric is 45 inches wide. This particular fabric is about 56 inches wide. So I cut it down from 56 to 45. So it was laying from selvage to selvage. And see, you can cut this, and you still don't have to finish the edges. This fabric is just really, really fun to work with. Okay? So it's 45 inches laying up and down. It's 45 inches wide this way. And then it's 50 inches long. So you're going to start with this little rectangle. It's a little bit wider than it is this way, a little bit longer. We'll call this length. The length of the fabric, the yardage, is a little bit longer, 50, than it is high, which is 45. Okay? All right, so you're going to fold it in 12 inches. So fold in 12 inches, and you'll have one of the first loops. Fold in this side 10 inches, and you're going to leave 6 inches of space in between. And all I did was stitch across, that's it. It's that easy. I couldn't believe when I went to the store and looked at this. That is this easy. Somebody is just really creative, and obviously they work hours to come up with these ideas, but boy, was this fun. Okay, so you stitch along here, and I'm going to take this off so you can see it a little bit better. Again, this fabric is $58.89. So it's got 2 little hooks on it. And what those are doing is keeping, it's keeping it asymmetric. So one of the set of hooks, well, I'm going to take this off so you can kind of see it. Okay, so this is how the fabric was. And I'm going to put it the same way I had it. I folded it in, so there's a fold right here, and this is your 12 inches. And then I folded it in, so there's a fold over here, and this is your 10 inches. And see how there's 6 inches in between. Now, I put a label there so you could understand that that becomes the back. And it's also easier when you put a label on it So you can understand where the parts go instead of figuring it out every time. So you see that when you do that, it laps. And then I'm going to show you where to put these snaps. They're not really snaps. They could be a button. They use snaps on the original thing. And so I went ahead. I mean, not snaps. I'm sorry. They used hook and eyes. So I used hook and eyes too. And one goes there. And one goes here. And then you can just play around with how it overlaps. It's a little asymmetric front here. Isn't that cute? I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. You could put it to the side. That even looks cute. But you can see that one overlaps the other one, and it's shorter. And so you could play around. You don't have to make it that width. I mean, there's all kinds of fun things you could do with this. I just love how cute, you know, when I'm cold, I need my shoulders covered. And a lot of times I don't want a whole coat, but just to throw something over your shoulders. So that's when I first saw it. I actually put it on. I thought, oh, this is amazing. So you could use all thicknesses. You can use all kinds. This is a knit. The original was a knit. The original being a knit will mold a little bit better. If you use a woven, it might kind of stick up at the shoulders a little bit, but that's your call too. You could play around with that. The ivory cape. May I put it on you? Yeah, I can put it on me. Yes. This is my cape. I've worn it already, you guys. I love this cape. So this is it's not a cashmere. Talk about hitting my microphone. Anyway, I don't have a mirror, but there you go. Oh, sorry. All right, I'm getting schooled by my dressers here. All right. Okay, so the back is longer. Isn't it cute? I love it. Okay. The navy cape. No, I can't do the navy cape. Yeah, I guess I could. I don't understand why you want to see it on me. You guys give me a good reason. I mean, the mannequin is me. Anyway, love this little cape. Love, love, love it. So I'm going to pull this out. So this particular cape, I have a winter white pair of pants. It's not winter white. They're kind of a darker cream and then the same color shirt. And I wear it all together, and it's really, really pretty. It's very pretty. This is very cool, you guys. I'm just in love with this wrap. You can tell, huh? So just use it right there. Flip it over. Now, it took me a little bit of time to figure out where to put these hook and eyes. I even went back to the store. So I'll kind of tell you where to put them. You'll figure it out, but I'm going to try to make it easy for you. It might make it easy for you and it might not. Okay? And again, I don't have a mirror and I can't see, but I just love it. How about the twin set as a basic? The twin set is $195. It is a basic. That's the sweater set, $195. We might be saying the same thing. We're just using a different language. Okay, are we good? I'll put this back on my little mannequin. Okay, and then, but those are bestsellers. The last bestseller I'm going to show you is the one I have on. And that is $9.15. It's called Hugo's cardigan. And Hugo's cardigan is just an amazing pattern. I don't know what else to say. It was, Hugo Boss was the designer of it. Remember, there's no copyrights in the industry. It's fast, it's quick, it fits great. People say, do I have to make a muslin? People are always griping about muslins. If you're not going to make a muslin, this is one I would choose to not make a muslin of. But there's still things you can make better. And I've got microphones attached to me. I've got all kinds of stuff. But last week, one of our good customers came in, and she had this on, and she had done it like this. Now, this is not, I'm not doing her justice. But basically, she had this scarf done down the middle, because I've got microphones and all kinds of stuff plugged onto me. But she took the knit. So Hugo's cardigan is $9.15. And she took the knit, and she substituted this middle piece with this beautiful scarf that matched the knit. And I just like, and then she had, like I said, like a little, just a little pin right here to close it, to keep it closed. It looked so pretty. She looked so pretty. And it was so simple. And I think that's what I loved about it, is the whole idea. A lot of these bestsellers, they're really simple. They're just the ideas that make them, I think, so very good. It's just the simplicity of the ideas. So this knit that I use, the black knit, is $58.92, and that's what I used on this too. I just used the scraps for the bottom of the bomber jacket down here, the cuffs, and then the neckband. So that was $58.92, and then $58.91 is what I used for my scarf because I'm in love with this fabric, or $58.73. Both of those are very, very similar. They're the same fabric, they're just different colors, and they both work really, really well as a beautiful scarf, really beautiful scarf. On the cream cape, could you use faux leather? Yeah, you could use anything you want. Faux leather, just let me warn you, faux leather doesn't drape well. So when I use, if I'm going to use a faux, it depends on the faux leather. They're getting better and better with some of the faux leathers. But you want to use something that has really good drape, because this back, you saw when I had it on, this back, you want it to drape. If it's too rigid a fabric, it won't have the softness to it. Just FYI, that's all. It's the only thing I would watch out for. The white cape, if you zip the zipper completely, does it work like a hood? You know, it does. It does. Although it is not really structured like a hood. It doesn't have this front curl place, but it is, supposedly, that was the whole goal, was to have it like a little hooded look. So that you can just see that. It will go up over your head, but again, it doesn't really have the front portion like a regular hood does. It's more of a fashion hood. Is that a fair statement? It's a really pretty fashion hood. It goes out that way. Okay. Is a scarf on your Hugo's cardigan woven or knit? It's woven. That's what I was trying to tell you. So you're using a knit pattern, but you're substituting this piece with any beautiful piece of woven. Like you could use a yard. A yard is all you need. And so if you've got a really beautiful sheer that you're just looking for something to do with, I think it makes really good on this. And also, I've seen this in ready-to-wear, and they stopped stitching, like about the waist, and they tied it at the waist. So they had these two loose ends that they could tie, and it was adorable. So it was Hugo's cardigan with like a little tie front, but it was just that it wasn't sewn all the way down. Can the tie-dye fabrics be used for 30/20, or are they too light? No, they're not too light at all. I mean, they're light. No, I shouldn't say that. They're light, but just don't make them really, really tight. They're not see-through, I think, is what you're looking for. And it depends. If there's like this one right here behind me, this one, I mean, we haven't put this up yet, but see, you could see where I could pull that really tight and you can't see through it. So no, they're really nice tie-dyes. They're very pretty. They're very pretty. So yeah, you could use them. And they have stretch in both directions. May I see the neckline of the top under the animal print jacket? Oh, it's $125. It's $125. It's on the Fit to Stitch side. If you go to Fit to Stitch and then donations, it's $18, $19, and $125. Those two are together. Do you think the blue wrap would work? The blue wrap. Oh, this blue wrap? Oh, sorry. Would work in a lightweight knit. A knit faux leather? Most faux leathers are not knit. So you want this fabric to be reversible, and you want it to be a knit. So if you take that fabric, remember when I showed you this, how to do this, you guys? It's one piece of paper. It's folded, and that becomes a wrap. So you don't have to cut the fabric to see if it will work. Take it, wrap it around you, and if you like the way it looks, it's going to work. Is that a good test? So that way you don't have to ask me, who's never seen the fabric before and I have no idea, but you could kind of ask yourself, and that would be a judge. If you take a piece of fabric and wrap it around you and you like the way it looks, you could just worry about using the other side, how to make it, because you do need a two-sided fabric. You need a fabric that looks good on both sides, a knit that looks good on both sides. Okay, are we good on that? Okay, so then I have a little surprise for you. Don't get too excited, you guys, not that good. But anyway, it's my best of for making muslins. Okay, and this is from Linda. And Linda's probably doesn't even remember when she did this. But anyway, and it's been a couple years, and I thought about it. And I haven't really shared it, but I have some. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so what she did is she wanted to make a leather pair of pants. And she knew that she didn't want to waste money and make a leather muslin and then ruin it to make her leather pair of pants, because that's twice as much leather, and leather is really expensive. She was going to piece the leather anyway. So she decided that what she was going to do, and I can't remember if she came up with the idea or if I suggested it. I can't remember who. It doesn't matter. We're going to give all the credit to Linda. So Linda came up with this idea that we could drape them and then take all the changes that needed to be done and make them into seams, top stitch them. So I'm going to show you this next photo. And you're going to see that this photo is leather pants, and look at those seams. They're all over the place. Leather pants always have seams in them because real leather isn't the size of you. You can't put a whole pair of pants on a leather. They're not, they're not that big. So you can see there's seams around the knees and there's seams around the crotch. So the only thing we did is, instead of making them straight, and so you could put a pocket on the side to hide things, we actually made them angled. So when we took a pinch at the crotch, we angled it up to the hip. We just angled everything to where, and we even added some to where her pants looked really, really cool, and that was her muslin. So for those of you who say, I don't want to make a muslin, make a muslin, but just figure out and be creative on how I could make it then wearable so that I can enjoy it. Now you're supposed to take it apart. You're supposed to use it as a pattern. It's supposed to be a whole bunch of positive good things come from it. But if you're doing leather and it's a pair of pants, then maybe this idea might help you. How's that? Okay? That's all I got. All right? That's all the best of there is. Maybe you guys can come up with some best of, but I just wanted to really show some bestsellers, how to make them up, what to do with them. What's really the best of 2022 in fashion? Get a bomber jacket, get a great cape, a couple jackets. Honestly, like, that jacket here, this leopard jacket, I could have my pajamas on and put that jacket on, and I get compliments all day long because people don't look anything else. They just see a jacket. And I'll never forget, there was a quote by, anyway, one of the fashion designers in New York, and they said, all you need is a great jacket because nobody looks at what's underneath. And I think that's really true. I have definitely put that to the test, and I think it's worked. Okay, any questions we can answer, and then we're going to say goodnight. We're going to see you in 2 weeks. We're going to have our November POM. We've got the templates coming out. We've got lots of sales going on. We've got a sew-along coming up. We've got our Christmas party here at the store. That is December 3rd. So we just have a lot of fun coming up. All right. Any other questions that we can answer for you guys? We want you sewing. We want you sewing. We've got some beautiful fabrics coming in, going up. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you all. The Laura Piana cashmere is in from Italy. We got it today. So tomorrow it will all get, even if we have to stay till late, we will get it all cut and all shipped. And so you'll get tracking notices. They'll all be insured. So no worries on any of that. If you ordered at one time and then another time because you wanted some more, we'll combine the cuts. No worries on that. Just no worries. But I did want to let you know. And I appreciate y'all's patience because we got it. It's so exciting. What fabric is the bomber jacket? It's a, the fabric itself is 5894. 5894. What fabric is the leopard jacket? It's gone. It's gone. We've sold it out. We've got some really pretty leather right there. Would you hand me that, Brett? Do you mind? Is that light? That would be pretty, wouldn't it? Yeah, this would be really pretty. Here, I don't know when this will go up, but just watch for this. This is perfect for it. Isn't that pretty? That would be a beautiful jacket. This is actually a little bit of a knit, but that would work too. Hey, did you got to tell me if you guys liked that when we did the fabric sale in the store that night. That was so much fun on our side, but I don't know if it was fun on y'all's side. Like, what I mean is, did you like the fabrics you got? Did you feel like you got to see them, all that kind of stuff? Because we had more fun I had a lot of fun doing that. It just was more fun to have you guys in the store. It was just fun to me. So just let us know in the comments or something if you liked it, and then we might do it again, like I don't know, we're just thinking what we could do. We're always thinking of ideas, so. Okay, so we got that, right? Oh, what's the composition? I'm pretty sure this was 100% cotton. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 100% cotton. It's. Let me move this out of the way. It's pretty. I mean, I just love this jacket. I'll put this one on. Y'all didn't ask me to put it on, but I'll put this one on. I love this jacket, and I think part of the reason I like it, it's just the lines of the jacket. The lines of the jacket are just so cool, and I love how the back is like, I don't know, it's just cute. And you can just, like I say, the rest of what you have on doesn't matter. It's just fun. But like I said, Cindy, or a customer, I'm not supposed to say who, she made this one, and she used the one, I'm going to pull this over. She used the, this was that waterproof that we had online. It was that reversible. I don't know, some of you may have this. If you have it, this is a great idea to make with this. But it was this, I don't remember who the designer was, but I know it was a designer. She did a beautiful job. The snaps, the zippers, I mean, it's lovely, lovely. And I had a customer come in and look at this and say, that's better sewing than I can do. And it's not, it's really easy sewing. So we tried to, he was a he, we tried to talk him into saying he could do it, but I'm not sure we got there. But anyway, okay. Oh, you did like the fabric sale? Okay. Oh, good. So you know, the main thing I was worried about is that you didn't, you know, that possibly you didn't like what you got, because a lot of times when I do a YouTube, you could see the fabric a little bit better than what I could here, but it was beautiful fabric. So I'm hoping that you liked it. Okay, good. Is that lined? No, Milano's jacket is not lined. It's an unlined jacket here on the inside. Ah, timber. Yeah, so this was, that's why I say I think this was 100% cotton, because it was, we had it just a little while ago. Some of you may have the fabric. It hasn't been that long ago that I made this jacket. But anyway, all right. So we're good. We're going to say night-night. Whoever you voted for today, I hope you win. At least we'll hit 50% of you, right? Was the holiday party... Oh, is the holiday party live? You guys, there's too many people in here. There's no way we could do that live. We'd have to do it separate, because first off, we have a music, we have live music, and we have a guy fixing food, and we have a bartender. So, and then we have people. So the store's just not that big to start filming and trying to do fabric sales. I'm sorry, it's just not. But we'll do something fun. We'll have something fun for you guys, okay? Was the store sale online? Yeah, the store sale was online. We did it live. We did 20 fabrics is what I did. And we did free shipping, so you could just see a fabric and order it. I think all of that worked, because what we did on our end is we just combined all the orders together. And that way you didn't have to lose out. If you saw a fabric you liked and you had to worry about shipping, you didn't have to worry about that. So I think it worked on a lot of levels. I was more concerned with, did you like the quality of the fabric? Could you see it, and did you like it, and did you, you know, that's what I was concerned with. Are the yoga pant legs cut the same width? Are the yoga pant legs cut the same width as the pattern? These yoga pants? These are mine. Maybe you could record the Christmas party? Hey man, I'm doing good to just basically say hello and cut fabric, man. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. We know that you want to be here. We know that, you know, then you'll be sad that you're not here. You're better off just to not see it. No, it's a lot of fun. We do really enjoy it. And if, you know, I know that there's some ladies coming in from out of town. We always have ladies come from out of town. This will be your annual trek. Just come on in, enjoy the party, and you get to meet everybody and then go away. Anyway. All right, so we'll see you in a couple weeks, which is the November POM. And until then, happy sewing. Bye.